New York enters tonight tied for first in the East in the NBA after defeating the Pelicans on Saturday. And the Knicks are clicking on to start the season. They lead the league in three-pointers, making nearly 17 per game and shooting them at 41%. So that ranks second in the NBA, and they also have the third best offensive efficiency. So now, can we get Perk back? Welcoming in Perk. So Perk, what's your biggest takeaway from the Knicks' hot start?
Their team is no individual basketball, right? When you look at the team concept, and that's why they're shooting at a high clip from the three-point line, because they pass up good shots to get great shots. You're watching guys be happy for one another. Guys are not out there playing for individual goals, right? So you look up one night offensively, Julius Randle may have 30. The next night you see Evan Fournier have 20. Like the other night, RJ Barrett had 35. When you have a team and you have a chemistry, you have culture, like that's installed in that organization right now in the way that they play inspiring winning basketball on both ends of the floors, guess what you're gonna guess what's gonna happen, Malika? You're gonna get wins, and that's what the New York Knicks do. They get wins. They don't care about nothing else but playing winning basketball. And if you're a coach at any level around the country and you're trying to teach your team how to play winning basketball, you might want to show them the video of the New York Knicks.
You might want to show them the Tibbs playbook, Perk?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, there you go. All right, so the Knicks have the city of New York absolutely bouncing. We're going to welcome back in Ramona Shelburne. And Ramona, from your perspective, I mean, we see the bing bong, right?
Yep.
We see all of this kind of going on and this excitement, right, around the Knicks. But is this start sustainable?
I actually think it is, because they're not just winning because Julius Randle's having an MVP caliber season. They're winning because they have a lot of depth this year.
Right.
4 of the 5 starters are averaging 15 points a game. Then they have the bench unit with Derrick Rose averaging 12.3 points a game. And they have Obi Toppin's playing well, Alec Burks playing well, Emmanuel Quickley. Like, they have enough depth. So everything you thought you knew about Tom Thibodeau teams, where you play a bunch of minutes, the starters play 38 minutes, and maybe they wear down during the year. They have the depth to sustain this, even if they have an injury to one of their top guys.
That's interesting, but I'm sure Knicks fans are sitting here like, all right, we're bracing. We want to be able to do this. Is this going to be the year that they can kind of continue and take the next step? And you mentioned it. The conversation around the Knicks this summer was, did they really get that much better? And it looks like.
Well, the 2 additions that they brought in, Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker, have been really good. They've given them this they've given them this professionalism and this ability to stretch the floor to where it doesn't have to be all on Julius Randle.
Right.
Like those guys can spread the floor, but they also can create shots for other people. And you put Kemba and Derrick Rose out there. That's a lot of offense generation that doesn't have to come from Julius or RJ Barrett, who has really taken a step forward on both sides of the ball this year too.
Well, the Knicks have been in Madison Square Garden looking fly. And speaking of fly, coming up on he's here because we here. Stephen A. Smith.
We here.
We here.
We here.
So what's your assessment of the Knicks this year after last night?
Well, first of all, I'm very, very pleased. Number one, their offense is one of the top 3 offenses in the game. They've got 2 victories already this season against Boston and Philadelphia. That's within their division. Let's give them props for that. They lost one Orlando. They shouldn't have lost after beating up on Orlando a couple of nights earlier. In the end, they're a 3-1 team, and I'm looking at them right now. I know their defense is going to be even better now that Mitchell Robinson is back in the lineup and Tom Thibodeau is still their coach. But I'm most pleased with what I'm seeing offensively. They got a backcourt now outside of Derrick Rose that actually can create their own shots. Fournier and obviously Kemba Walker can create a shot off the dribble. They can hit mid-range shot. They can hit long-range shots. They showed that last night yet again by combining to hit 10 threes. This is a team to be reckoned with. There's a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference that have improved. The New York Knicks are one of them. And I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. I'm very excited. And the only thing I have to say other than that is we here.
And I think we hear. I think we might be hearing that from you a little bit more. We hear. I like that. So on the other side of the ball, Stephen A., they weren't here. The Sixers were struggling. Losses to the 2 good teams they played, the Knicks and the Nets. So what are you seeing from the Sixers team?
Well, I'm very alarmed from the standpoint, number one, I'm not really alarmed by Joel Embiid because Mitchell Robinson and those boys was in there. He went without a field goal in the first half. His heart didn't seem into playing too much last night, and we got to monitor that, of course. But I think the absence of Ben Simmons is proven to be profound. This is an all-star caliber player, an all-world defensive player, incredibly athletic, ability to create shots for other people, and he's not in your lineup right now. That calls upon Tobias Harris and Maxey and others to really, really step up, and Seth Curry as well, and be an offensive force, and that might not be in their repertoire on a night-in, night-out basis. What you look at when you see the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm sick and tired of seeing Doc Rivers explain something about Ben Simmons. I said it last week, and then Daryl Morey came out and did an interview with my man Mike Missinelli in Philadelphia, but then after that he disappeared again. Daryl Morey is the one that needs to be answering questions about Ben Simmons. We're hearing that, we're in a good place and we're making progress. Well, what the hell does that mean? Because at the end of the day, when you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, you're looking at Brooklyn, you're looking at Milwaukee, you're looking at Miami, you're looking at Chicago, you're looking at all of these teams, okay? And of course the New York Knicks as well. Teams are improving. What's going to happen to Philly if they just stand pat and Daryl Morey doesn't pull the trigger on something to get Joel Embiid, Doc Rivers, and the rest of the crew additional help? That's where the focus needs to be in Philadelphia right now. Daryl Morey is a big-time executive. We know this. Show us, remind us of that by doing something in Philly with Ben Simmons instead of standing still. Something needs to be done, and I think that much is obvious.
So you're saying don't get left behind. Don't sleep and get left behind.
Don't get left behind.
Well,
no.
Do you want one more We Hear, Stephen A?
We here. We here. I mean, that's Philadelphia got that issue. I'm in New York City. We here.
There you
we
go.
Here.
Thank you, Stephen A. Really appreciate you stopping by.
All right. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Don't miss NBA Countdown, 7 o'clock Eastern, right here on ESPN. But Stephen A. mentioned that Joel Embiid, the big man, he finished with 14 points. He's only 2 for 7 from the field. And here's what...
the third option, sometimes the second option, and even last night, the number one option. Look, Carmelo Anthony haven't seen this many wide open looks since Moby Dick was a goldfish, okay? And when you look at the pressure that LeBron James and Russell Westbrook puts on the defense, Melo is wide open, which all he has to do is catch and release. And that's what he does best, is get buckets. And what I'm seeing is right now, Melo is flourishing in a role that they wanted Kyle Kuzma to do last year, right? Come in off the bench and provide a spark offensively and get buckets. And that's what he's doing.
Okay, so then what is the areas of improvement you still want to see, Perk, for the Lakers?
I mean, Ramona touched on it, Malika. It's that defense, right? And I think I tweeted last night about why put Anthony Davis at the center position if you're not going to feature him in the offense. And then I had to go back and think about it, that I was a defensive-minded guy. And I also love what Frank Vogel is doing by putting Anthony Davis at center, even if he's not featured in the offense, because you know what it's doing? It's challenging Anthony Davis to be the anchor on defense. And that's what we saw last night. Forget the double-double that he had. I saw Anthony Davis anchoring the defense, switching out on pick and rolls, guarding little guards on perimeter, anchoring the defense, contesting things at the basket. The Rockets couldn't get nothing easy, and he was rebounding at a high level on both ends of the floor. So I actually love the move by Frank Vogel, because it's in a way, it's challenging Anthony Davis without even saying a word to him.
So quickly then, Perk, if I know it was against the Rockets, who've been struggling a bit this season, but if that continues, if Anthony Davis can continue to be the defensive anchor and they take a step up here, what's the ceiling for the Lakers, do you think?
Oh, it's the championship, and we all know that he could do it, right? We saw it 2 years ago when at times Frank Vogel used him at the center position and challenged him, and he delivered in great fashion. It's all about his mindset. But if Anthony Davis is going to be the best defensive player on the floor night in and night out on both teams, the opponent and with the Lakers are going to win the championship with flying colors, and Anthony Davis is going to win his first Defensive Player of the Year award, which he could possibly win. And when you have perimeter guards, like a perimeter guard like Avery Bradley, it also takes a lot of pressure off of Anthony Davis. I love what Avery Bradley brings to the table, but AD being in tune and actually embracing the role of playing the center position will be everything for the Lakers.
Well, and they don't even have their full cavalry yet, right, Perk? So we're going to see this get to shake out a little bit. Don't go anywhere, because I'm going to need you in just a minute. The Lakers held the Rockets to just 85 last night. And throughout the league, offensive numbers are down compared to last season. The average offensive efficiency is down by 6 points per 100 possessions. And field goal and three-point percentages were also better last year. And Draymond Green and Steph Curry, they seem to be delighted by the way the game is being, that we can continue it multi-days. But we do have to save a moment for top costumes because Robin Lopez and his partner Christine, like, shout out Christine. I know Robin. And then I love the Lillards.
I like
The
that.
Lillards, the Flintstone Lillards. But
And the nose and the finger in the nose like a
But you guys, the Lakers, I mean, they went all out. That's Russ as Chucky and Trevor Ariza as the Joker. And then I don't even understand this. All right, yeah, LeBron, amazing. That's Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I had no
How?
clue.
How is that Anthony Davis? I don't get it. And then LeBron also had a sitting lookalike.
A
that was
doppelganger.
Courtside, but actually this is the Rockets rookie Josh Christopher's older brother, Pat Christopher, and he's designed clothes for LeBron and was a counselor at LeBron's camp since 2007. But the internet didn't know all of this when they just saw, wait, that looks like LeBron seeing double. And after the game,
Inception.
LeBron had some fun, mixing it up courtside, tweeting, Ayo, true definition of two places at the same time. Somebody tell Patsy if he wants to be me for Halloween, just ask. Can I be you for Halloween, Janae?
Absolutely. Can I be you for Halloween?
Yeah, because we asked. So
Okay.
that's the way
Now you know
that
how it
works.
goes.
I think we could both, like, I could sit on your shoulders and I'd be
That would work.
perk.
That would.
Yeah.
Oh, for
yeah,
perk.
yeah. If I sit on your shoulders
Yeah.
and I could
That
perk
would